story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks, we're fighting for wins. There's a difference, right? There's a difference, right? This game ain't gonna be played in Hollywood, it's gonna be played on the grass, right? It's gonna be played on the grass.
I hope all those people that have been watching every week are watching this week.
I think they are.
And so let's go ahead and get into it. This wasn't the score that I was predicting, but definitely the outcome that I was predicting. And before y'all say I didn't believe in the comment section, just know that I did believe, and I do believe. I just don't believe that it's going to be this year. I don't believe that this is going to be the year that Colorado and Deion Sanders put their stamp on college football. They got a long ways to go. Talent-wise, they got a long ways to go. And when Deion first got this job, he said as much. He said, give him a few years to get those boys up front. Because the skill players are there. They've got talent at wide receiver, running back, and of course quarterback, and some of the other skill positions. But up front, that defensive line and that offensive line, God bless them, but they need a lot of help. They're too small and they don't have the athletes that these other power schools have. And it's not even close. And it got revealed even more so today. Shedeur Sanders is the #1 sacked quarterback in all of college football. And that's for a reason. They can't protect him. They don't have the talent up front to protect him. And that's no slight to those boys playing up front. I know they played their hearts out. But as far as the talent level, they just can't compete with some of these other schools. And that's not Deion's fault. He's done the best he can with the talent that he was able to get in a short amount of time that he was able to collect it. And so I'm not going to say that Colorado was overhyped. I'm not going to say that. If anything, I would say probably one of the worst things that happened to Colorado was winning that first game, beating TCU at TCU's home. That was probably one of the worst things that could have happened to Colorado. It would have been better off. They would have been 2-1 at this point in the season going into this game. Deion was never going around saying that he was going to beat every school and he was going to go undefeated and he was going to win a national championship his first year. He never said that. That's something he wouldn't say because he knows he doesn't have the talent like some of these other schools. He doesn't have a university like Oregon that's been good for the past 20 to 30 years. A bad season for Oregon is if they don't compete for a national title. A good season for Colorado is if they somehow make it to a bowl game. Doesn't matter which one, just a bowl game. That's a good season for Colorado. That's been a good season for Colorado for the past 20 years or so. And so going into a situation like that, Deion knew that he wasn't going to turn this thing around overnight. And so they overachieved. And because they overachieved, the hype machine picked up. And people started to actually believe that they could compete with an Oregon or a USC. And I thought they had a chance. I thought they had an outside chance to compete. Not win, but compete against an Oregon and a USC. And that's only if they had Travis Hunter. Once they lost Travis Hunter and he got knocked out for the next 3 weeks, oh, that was a wrap. I already knew what time it was. Because you just took your best player, not just on defense, but arguably one of your best players on offense, out for the next 3 weeks. That's something you can't do if you're a program like Colorado that doesn't have the depth and the talent to be able to replace a player like that. And so once they lost Travis, any outside chance that they had to compete against an Oregon or a USC just went out the window. But you already know the haters are going to be front and center. They've been hiding out for the past 3 weeks, but you're about to see them front and center talking about, I told you so. Colorado ain't this, Colorado ain't that. Deion ain't this, Deion ain't that. We're about to hear all of it. Probably for the next 2 weeks, because like I said, it's going to be the same thing when it comes to USC. Because they don't have the talent to protect the Shedeur Sanders. They don't have the talent on that defensive line to be able to get after a quarterback, to make a quarterback uncomfortable, to be able to do some things up front. They don't have that kind of talent yet. And so when they face some of these top and some of these elite schools, it's going to show. But I know Deion is definitely going to have his boys a lot more prepared than they were this week. It was a good learning lesson. Sometimes it's good to get hit in the mouth like that, to be able to get back up from something like this and see how you can compete going forward. And so it's going to be a good thing in the long run. And Deion's going to see what he has to work with. And he may have to send some more people packing in that transfer portal next year because the recruits are lining up. This time next year, we're going to see what time it is when it comes to USC, when it comes to a Oregon, when Deion has a little more talent up front. We're going to see what time it is. And so I just wanted to chime in real quick and give my take on this loss to let everybody know it's not going to be the end of the world. This is the result that I thought was going to happen. Like I said, I didn't think it was going to be this lopsided. But once again, you're playing somebody like Oregon. They got all the talent in the world. It's a pipeline for the NFL. And so when you're going up against a program like this and you got a team that was 1-11 last year, you're dealing with an organization like that, something like this was bound to happen. And so hopefully they can put up a better fight next week at home against USC, but we'll see how it plays out. But let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comment section, and make sure you guys hit that like and share button on your way out. And as usual, peace and chaos.